welcome back to Luso Yachting. Today you get introduced to my best friend Susanna, who cruises with me. Susie is the first mate on board Andreza, and today we're getting her ready to go out tomorrow. We're going to take her over and we're going to fuel her up, show you how we fuel her up, and once we finish that we're going to give her a quick wash down. We've got some guests coming tomorrow. We're going to vlog the trip out. We're going to get out to some of the anchorages, drop the hook in the water, have some lunch, and just show you a little bit of the coastline. So keep watching and see how much it costs and the procedures for filling up this thing with lots of fuel. So as you can probably see, Andreza is just under half full, just over a third of a tank thereabouts. So we're going to fill her up today with diesel and show you the procedures for doing that, and you'll see roughly what it costs to operate one of these things, considering that a full tank will give you around about 250 nautical miles with the 20% reserve. So let's do this thing and see what happens. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do before we fuel up is we're going to put a diesel additive in. This one's called Marine 16. Absolutely amazing stuff. It's an additive. When you put this in there, its primary job is to stop a diesel bug from growing in your tanks and in your fuel lines, and all the impurities that settle in your fuel lines. It stops all of that, but it also makes the diesel burn a lot cleaner, a lot quicker. When you see these boats out on a cruise, you can usually see a blue haze behind them, all the diesel particulates that are coming out the back. This thing completely eliminates that. It's clear as a whistle coming out the back of Andreza when she's got this stuff in, and it stops all the deposits, the sooty deposits that come around your exhaust ports as well. It's quite expensive stuff. It's about 60 euros for a litre. We tend to buy it in the big 5 litre drums and then decant it into the small ones because it's easier to pour into the tanks. But one of these one of these litre bottles will treat 1,000 litres of diesel. So it's pretty good in the scheme of things when you think about what it costs to fuel up. Another 60 euros is neither here nor there. So we'll put this in the diesel tanks before we fuel up, and it will mix as we fill up with diesel. Let's go in. Hi there. Okay, so we're approaching the fuel pontoon. We've got a slight breeze coming now out of the west, so we're going to turn around, we're going to spin in our own length, face into the breeze while we bring it onto the fuel pontoon, which is just here. So, going ahead slowly, don't want to go too fast in the marina, nice and safe. No traffic out yet today. Straighten up a little bit, Susie. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll bring it to a stop. We're going to put the starboard engine into reverse just to bring this to a halt. It will start to crawl back and spin slightly, but to make it spin totally, we'll put the port engine into forward, ahead, and this will cause the boat to spin in its own length. Now we're approaching the pontoon. Just line her up slightly. Tender at the back, looking in, tender coming out the back, touch of the stern, stop it now. So here we are alongside the fuel dock. Fuel prices today. Hello. Oh there, for normal gasolio is going to be €1.33 per litre, and we're going to be putting a hell of a lot in there. So Susie's just about to open the fuel filler. Got something called the dolphin, what we call the dolphin. It's a little disc that opens the fuel. We have a dolphin float on it, so Susie's going to open that for you. There we are. And then Susie's going to put some Marine 16 in there. You don't. So here's Susie now. Putting in about half a litre of Marine 16. bit more. Okay, great stuff, thank you. And then while we commence fueling, Susie will now go and stick that in the other side, similar on the other tank. There we go. And so very little to this now. Okay, so fueling up. Let's take you onto the pontoon. I think it's going to take about 600 and 700 litres each side. So,
each side?
Yeah, probably. So while that's fueling up, these little valves you can see down here in the hole, in the blue things, these are air vents. So as the fuel is going in, the air is coming out of here, and as it gets full, you'll hear it gurgling there, and that's our signal then that we're almost full. We don't want it spilling all over the place, and we'll turn it off. Look over to the pump, and you can see it there racking up at a great old rate. So the one thing that you'll notice, Andreza has two tanks, and the two tanks are kept separate on here. There are valves down in the engine room that you can open up and equalise the tanks. That will allow you to fill it from one side, and the tanks will equalise between the two. We always keep those shut off. It's a precautionary measure that we do. If you're going to get some kind of diesel bug or any kind of contaminant in one of your tanks, the last thing you want to do is to contaminate the other tank. So we keep them separate. In an emergency, if we needed to, we could transfer fuel simply by going down and opening the valve up. However, we always keep it separate. It takes a 5-minute extra job. When we're coming behind here, what we'll do is we'll take the hose around the boat rather than have it on board, because they're black and they mark the white paintwork. Sometimes they rub against it. We'll drop the hose into the water, we'll walk it round the outside of the hull and bring it over the rail to fill the opposite tank. Okay, so what we've got, we've taken the hose, as we said, put it down through the water line, underneath the water, brought her around the boat and up the other side of the hull, and that way the stainless steel rub rail just holds off the hose from the hull. You don't get any marks on it. So as you can see, it's just like filling up a big car or truck, really. Nice and quiet in the marina today, not much happening at all really. Just us fueling up, but tomorrow we are out. Okay, start to finish, that took around about 20 minutes to fuel up. Now the painful part. Let's go and have a look what we've spent on fuel. If it's up here, on there still, yeah, that's not too bad. 1,362 euros, which is about £1,200, about $1,500, considering that she was nearly half full. That's not too bad at all. Just to wonder how many times this season we're going to be looking at that. You'll see. As you can see, she is absolutely full to the brim. Perfect, just ready for a nice day out tomorrow. We're back on our berth, and this is Luso Yachting signing off. Till tomorrow, when we'll be vlogging our first day out of the season. See you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.